welcome to another episode of Grey Matter, the series of science shorts that talks all things brain and cracks all things cranium. In this episode we're going to be talking about Alzheimer's, which is the most common form of dementia. Dementia is an umbrella term used to describe a set of conditions which are associated with the loss of function over time. This could be loss of memory, ability to move, language or personality changes. This loss of function is due to the dying off of neurons, and the type of dementia depends on which kind of neurons die and how this happens. Alzheimer's disease is characteristically associated with the loss of memory, and also problems in aspects of thinking, language and communication, as well as perception. People with Alzheimer's may also show changes in their mood and become anxious. The condition mainly affects people over the age of 65, but people can develop Alzheimer's earlier on in life. It is thought that there's many causes that underlie Alzheimer's and many factors that may lead to its development. This includes the formation of plaques in the brain, the development of tangles, and a decrease in the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. If you look at an Alzheimer's patient's brain under a microscope, you'll see several things. This includes abnormal clusters of proteins called plaques and tangled up proteins within inside neurons. The plaques seen in Alzheimer's patients' brains are caused by a buildup of a protein called beta-amyloid. This protein clumps together and forms lumps, and these stuck together pieces of beta-amyloid affect the electrical conductivity of neurons and how they take in nutrients. This causes the neurons to die off, or in science speak, undergo apoptosis. The tangles, otherwise known as the neurofibrillary tangles, are caused by a buildup of another protein called tau protein. This builds up inside neurons, possibly due to an issue in breaking it down, and that causes the tau protein to reach abnormal levels. The buildup of tau also affects the way neurons work and causes them to die off. Alzheimer's disease is also linked to a decrease in the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a chemical messenger used to pass information between neurons in many parts of the brain, including the memory centre. The lack of acetylcholine could be caused by a deficit in the enzyme that makes the neurotransmitter. It is also thought that there could be an issue in the sensitivity of the neurons to the chemical messenger and how they absorb it, as well as how brain cells release it. So you can see that the underlying causes of Alzheimer's are complex, and as well as the buildup of plaques, tangles and the loss of acetylcholine, it's thought that other factors may also underlie Alzheimer's, such as the exposure to harmful oxidants, infection and genetic factors. So the complex causes of Alzheimer's can throw up major issues when looking for a cure for the condition, but these aren't the only problems. The brain is very good at coping if part of the brain dies off. It can move functions from one area to another. That part can't perform its functions anymore. This is why some people can recover certain functions after suffering a brain injury. As Alzheimer's disease progresses, the brain can cope by reassigning function to other areas. But because the brain is so good at this, symptoms of Alzheimer's don't occur until 70% of the neurons have died off, and the brain can't cope anymore. This is then too late for medications to prevent the cell death. So the key to treating Alzheimer's is prevention and stopping cell death in the first place, and pre-treating those who are most likely to develop the condition. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Grey Matter. Stay tuned for next time.